How are we going, everyone? As you all know, I have very little time. That's one of the things that I always run out of here. And at the moment, you can see that I've got these standard roses that I need to prune. And normally, you know, if I had all the time in the world, I'll sit there with my pair of secateurs and pick through every little branch and clean up which ones I want and which ones I want to remove completely. But I don't have all the time in the world, so I'm going to use my hedge trimmer. And the quick thing about hedge trimming, well, any pruning in fact, folks, it's making sure you've got sharp, clean tools or blades. So secateurs, sharp. Pocket knives or, you know, grafting, budding knives, make sure they're sharp. And also sterilised. So here's my little metho bottle. So I sprayed already my oil and metho on this here. So I've lubricated it, and I'm going to do that with my secateurs afterwards. But what we do here, for those who haven't seen me do this before, is use the hedge trimmer to prune the standard roses. You gotta love suckers. I know that looks good up there, but look at all these suckers under here. Anyway, we'll talk about them in a minute. Just gotta watch yourself. That's the start of it. So if you are really seriously out of time, like I am, it's getting pretty dark now, daylight savings is gone, I hit it with a hedge trimmer like that, I'll go through all of them, and then afterwards, when I get a half a moment, I'll get my secateurs and go back and clean them. Now, with a sharp hedge trimmer, you shouldn't get any ripping. If you have a close look at all the cuts here, they're pretty good. You might get one or two. I mean, it's not completely foolproof with the sharp tool, but it's a lot better. If you don't have a sharp hedge trimmer, you're going to cause more damage to your plant with ripping and dieback and canker developing on it. These are going dormant now, so they are more susceptible to getting a disease got into them because there's no sap flowing or very little. So clean your tools. Then afterwards, we're going to go around and clean all this up. All this overlapping, crisscrossing, rubbing, and all that sort of branching going on in the middle is going to be taken out. I'm not going to do that now because I've got plenty of time ahead, so I've got until late winter to prune all this back and clean it up. Now you can see I haven't cut it back really hard. See the old wood down here? So that's what, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 15 years of age, and it goes older as you get down obviously to the trunk. Now if you come along here, you'll see we've got 2-year-old, 3-year-old wood, last year's wood, and this is all this year's growth here that I'm cutting back. I'm going to cut all this right back down to here somewhere, a couple of buds from over here. So I need to keep it around the same height every year. That's how I like it. Some people cut them right down to a knuckle. I'm talking about where it's just the standard trunk and a knuckle on top. And that knuckle has obviously lots of little buds on it, and it causes it to grow out again. But that's always a very soft and tender looking shrub. And it depends on where you are and the position of it, whether it works or not. But in the case of standard roses, you don't cut them right down to nothing. You can see I've got the void down in here, and I'm going to thin all this out on top as well. So if your roses are looking tacky, especially the rootstocks suckering up like this, get out there and clean them up. If you've only got a couple of roses here and there, use your secateurs. If you've got a lot, don't be scared to use your hedge trimmers and give them a good whack, right back down to sort of half their size, almost 2/3. And then go around by the end of winter, clean them up like that, and also feeding. Now, when it comes to rootstocks, you can't just cut these to the ground, folks. We're running out of daylight. We're going to come back and talk about how to clean out a rootstock properly. This will happen all the time, and what I hate about standard roses and grafted plants is this rootstock, and in particular this one, is so aggressive. It constantly suckers up, so I cut out the eyes and it keeps suckering up elsewhere. But anyway, we'll come back to this another day. For your roses, give them a prune, clean them up, and make sure you don't tear them if you're using a hedge trimmer. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com, everything you need, all at the one place. From me, Vasily, Maresi.